Recently, alarming news has emerged from this region. China has initiated reclamation activities in Scarborough Shoal. This action has raised concerns among neighboring countries and the international community. The situation is delicate and demands careful attention. The potential for escalation is real. It is crucial to understand the historical context and the implications of China's actions. The world is watching closely as events unfold in this volatile region. Scarborough Shoal is a small atoll located in the West Philippine Sea. This seemingly insignificant cluster of rocks and reefs has become a focal point of international maritime disputes. Its strategic location and rich fishing grounds have made it a highly contested area among neighboring countries. China refers to it as Huangyan Island. This name is often used in Chinese government documents and maps, underscoring China's assertion of sovereignty over the area. The Philippines knows it as Bajo de Masinloc. This name is deeply rooted in Filipino history and culture, and it is frequently mentioned in the country's legal and diplomatic communications. This disputed territory has been a source of tension for decades. The shoal has seen numerous naval standoffs, protests, and diplomatic confrontations, making it a flashpoint in the West Philippine Sea. China, the Philippines, and Taiwan have all asserted claims to Scarborough Shoal. Each country has its own historical and legal justifications for their claims, leading to a complex and often contentious situation. The Philippines maintains that the shoal falls within its exclusive economic zone. According to international law, this zone extends 200 nautical miles from a country's coastline, giving the Philippines a strong basis for its claim. However, China's claim is based on historical arguments. Chinese officials often cite ancient maps and documents to support their assertion that the shoal has been part of Chinese territory for centuries. These arguments are rooted in ancient maps and records. These historical documents are frequently presented in international forums to bolster China's claim. China's recent activities in Scarborough Shoal have heightened anxieties in the region. The country has conducted extensive sea and air combat drills in the vicinity of the shoal. They underscore China's resolve to assert its dominance in the West Philippine Sea. Scarborough Shoal holds immense strategic importance. Its location in the West Philippine Sea makes it a valuable asset. It is also close to areas believed to hold significant oil and gas reserves. They threaten to escalate tensions with neighboring countries that have competing claims in the West Philippine Sea. These countries view China's reclamation activities as a direct challenge to their own territorial integrity and maritime rights, which has a vested interest in maintaining freedom of navigation in the West Philippine Sea. Section 6. The world reacts. International responses to China's actions. The international community has responded with growing apprehension to China's actions in Scarborough Shoal. Countries around the world are closely monitoring the situation, as the strategic and economic implications of the dispute are significant. The Scarborough Shoal, located in the West Philippine Sea, is a critical area for international shipping and rich in natural resources, making it a focal point of geopolitical tension. The Philippines, as the country most directly affected, has lodged a formal protest. The government has been vocal in its opposition, emphasizing the impact on its sovereignty and the livelihoods of its fishermen. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has personally met with Chinese officials to address the issue, seeking a diplomatic resolution while also preparing for potential escalations. It summoned the Chinese ambassador to express its displeasure over China's publication of new baselines that encompass the disputed shoal. These new baselines are seen as an aggressive move by China to assert its claims over the area, further complicating the already tense situation. The United States, a long-standing ally of the Philippines, has also voiced its concern. The US has reiterated its commitment to defending its allies in the region and has called for a peaceful resolution to the dispute. In a joint press conference, US officials have highlighted the importance of maintaining freedom of navigation in the West Philippine Sea, a vital corridor for global trade. The US government has warned China that its actions could have repercussions. It has increased its naval presence in the region as a show of support for its allies and a deterrent against further unilateral actions by China. The US has also engaged in diplomatic efforts, urging other nations to stand against any attempts to alter the status quo through force or coercion. It has emphasized the importance of upholding international law including the 2016 ruling by the Permanent Court of Arbitration that invalidated China's expansive 9-line claim in the West Philippine Sea. This ruling is a cornerstone of the international community's stance on the issue, reinforcing the principle that maritime disputes should be resolved through legal means rather than unilateral actions. The international community continues to call for dialogue and adherence to international norms to ensure stability and peace in the region. Section 7. Expert Insights, Deciphering China's Strategic Calculus. In this section, we delve deep into the intricate strategies and motivations behind China's actions in the West Philippine Sea, particularly focusing on the Scarborough Shoal. Experts on international relations and security matters are closely analyzing China's motives behind its reclamation activities in Scarborough Shoal. These activities have raised significant concerns among neighboring countries and international observers. The reclamation efforts are not just about territorial expansion, but are seen as a calculated move to assert China's influence in the region. Many believe that this move is central to China's long-term strategic goal of establishing dominance in the West Philippine Sea. The West Philippine Sea is a crucial maritime route, and control over this area would give China significant leverage over international trade routes. Additionally, the region is rich in natural resources, including oil and gas reserves, which are vital for China's growing energy needs. Building a permanent structure on Scarborough Shoal would provide China with a forward operating base for its military. This base would not only enhance China's defensive capabilities, but also serve as a launchpad for projecting power across the region. The construction of military facilities, including airstrips and radar installations, would enable China to monitor and potentially control maritime traffic. It would enable China to project its power more effectively in the region. The presence of Chinese naval vessels and the conduct of military exercises in the West Philippine Sea are clear indicators of China's intent to establish a dominant military presence. This projection of power is aimed at deterring other nations from challenging China's claims and actions in the area. Some experts suggest that the timing of China's actions may be deliberate. They argue that China is carefully choosing moments when the international community is distracted by other global issues. By doing so, China can advance its strategic objectives with minimal resistance or interference from other major powers. They speculate that China may be seeking to exploit the current global political climate, which is preoccupied with other crises, to advance its own strategic objectives with minimal international pushback. This opportunistic approach allows China to consolidate its gains in the West Philippine Sea, while the world's attention is diverted elsewhere. The implications of these actions are profound, potentially reshaping the balance of power in the region for years to come. Section 8. The need for vigilance navigating a complex geopolitical landscape. The situation in Scarborough Shoal is fraught with complexity and uncertainty. China's assertive actions have raised the stakes in the West Philippine Sea dispute. The potential for miscalculation and escalation is a real and present danger. The international community must tread cautiously. Diplomacy, dialogue, and a commitment to international law are essential for diffusing tensions and finding a peaceful resolution to the dispute. However, it is equally important to remain vigilant and prepared to respond to any further provocations by China. The developments in Scarborough Shoal are a stark reminder of the interconnectedness of our world. What happens in one corner of the globe can have ripple effects that are felt far and wide. We must educate ourselves about the historical context, the competing claims. By staying informed and engaged, we can contribute to a more peaceful and stable world. Remember, in mind matters will knowledge